Srila Prabhupada ki. His Holiness Partha Sarathi Vyasa Swami Maharaj ki. Hey Gurudev, as a commemoration to your Vyasa Puja, many of your disciples and aspiring disciples have been over the last month pledged and have committed to chanting extra rounds every day. So we want to offer those extra rounds to your efforts in Srila Prabhupada's mission, and on behalf of Guru Maharaj, we'd like to encourage you to continue those extra rounds now, moving into the Kartik month, which begins tomorrow. Also, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and as per your instruction, 102 disciples participated in a mini-book marathon over the last few weeks, and over a short period of time, a staggering 3,361 books were distributed. We'd like to thank all the disciples and aspiring disciples who participated in the book distribution, and again, the moon should continue all the way for the rest of our existence, I would think. I'd like to now invite Chaitanya Das to hand over the Vyasa Puja book, which has been prepared for your Vyasa Puja celebration today. His Holiness Partha Sarathi Goswami Maharaj ki. Whilst Maharaj peruses the book, on behalf of the Vyasa Puja Committee, I'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the management of the Shri Radharanath Temple for allowing us the privilege to use the facility today. Thanks is also extended to all of the disciples, aspiring disciples, well-wishers, and to everyone who has contributed to today's celebration. As Maharaj reads through the book, we're going to move into our Guru Puja shortly. I'd like to take this opportunity to give you a few instructions, or we can call them directives. We would love to make this process very, very efficient, and as an offering to Maharaj, we would like your cooperation, because we want him to send him to rest as soon as possible. So this is the process that we are going to follow. So I require you to listen carefully. I will explain it twice so that we get it 100% correct. So on the Mataji's side, and you seem to be the majority in number tonight, we're going to have 3 devotees. I would ask them to please stand up and raise your hands, the 3 Matajis. They're going to place themselves at the very front where they are, and they will be your position points for the 3 lines that you will form. So Matajis, you are lining up along the benches, following the direction of those 3 Matajis. We'd like to request that the first line is for all of our senior Matajis, so we can please facilitate that process carefully. The same will happen on the Prabhu side, except I think we will need 2 lines for you, and we'll have 2 devotees who will position themselves, and you will wait at that position, line up from that position, so that we can direct you into the space. When you direct into the space, Matajis, you will be entering 3 at a time, and the devotees at the very front will allow you in. Once you've offered your obeisances, please take note. Once you've offered your petals or garland, you are to offer obeisances past the point where devotees are assembling. You'll notice also that there's a demarcated line on the floor. We'll request that you do not cross that. The same process will happen with the Prabhus on this side. You will be allocated 2 at a time. You will offer your garlands or your petals, and then you will make your way out the center so that you exit. So one more time so that we are extremely clear, and this is an efficient process. Matajis, you will make 3 lines on that end. The first line will be for all of the senior Matajis. You will enter 3 at a time. You will do your offering, and you will offer obeisances on the outside. Prabhu's 2 lines on the side, and the same process. While the kirtan is on, we will allow those Matajis to form their lines, and once we are orderly, then we will begin with the Guru Puja. His Holiness Partha Sarathi Goswami Maharaj. So we'll ask you to please take positions. Prashad will be served downstairs immediately after the